Question is about the Crimson Idol. I do a lot of writing since I had a bit of a breakdown about 5 years ago, and I found that I can write.
What, 5 years ago?
I had a bit of a breakdown, and I found I could write a lot. And the Crimson Idol's an amazing album. And I just wanted to know where were you and what were you thinking when you were doing that? Because I think it's just absolutely brilliantly written. And I listen to it still now, and I listen to the story of Jonathan. I think it's just where were you what were you thinking when you were writing that? Because it's just amazing. It really is.
All authors will tell you writing is a process of discovery.
Okay.
Sometimes you have a germination of an idea, that's small, which is what that idea was. I mean, it started, I was in a restaurant in London when the epiphany first hit me.
Okay.
But like I said, it was just a germination of an idea. It wasn't very big, but it started growing from there. And that was 87 when I had that idea the first time. So for 3 years, this thing is percolating in my head. We'll do the Headless record. But I'm still thinking about it, it's in the back of my mind. They say all writers write all the time, whether they're aware of it or not. You're constantly writing.
Yeah.
And so what happens, it becomes a process of discovery. It has been said that when your brain goes into either an alpha or a beta state before you go to sleep is when you're most creative. So just before you wake up or just before you go to sleep. Because you hear guys talk about all the time they dream stuff. I dream stuff on Crimson Island. I dream Hold On to My Heart.
Oh, beautiful song, mate.
Well, yeah, but you wake up and it's there, and the lyrics, it's like getting it for free. Headless. I dreamt Headless. Complete the lyrics. Billy Joel says he dreams all his.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get every one of those to do that. So it's always going to be a process of discovery. And as you start digging, you're going to find things. Now, to give you a proper setup of that record, there was also, I was talking about a series of events that happened. There was a series of events that happened with that record too. Because, believe it or not, we had done Headless, and I was in a place where I did not know if I could compete with the best songwriters in the world. I was in a place where I thought, I'm never going to be as good as those guys. And I'm talking about the best of the best. So, and you guys probably saw it in the little museum thing, me giving Townsend the record. Okay, Pete and I talked for about 45 minutes about songwriting that time. And I asked him, I said, is it easy for you? Because you make it look easy. He started laughing. And I could tell by his kind of nervous laughter that it was not easy. And I told him, I said, all right, let me give you a picture and see if you can relate to this. We're going to write a song, and we're going to start out with a block of stone. It's square, has no real shape. You got a chisel in one hand and a hammer in the other. And you just start whacking away. And pretty soon it starts to take some sort of shape. Some shapes turn out better than others. But whether it's a good shape or whether it's a bad shape, somewhere along the way, you're going to slip and your knuckles are going to get bloody. And he started laughing. And I said, so you can't relate? He says, that is the greatest analogy I've ever heard. Because that process of discovery that I'm talking about is painful. Because you're going to do it right, to make it authentic, you got to go to places you don't want to go to sometimes. And if I had to bet, whether it's me or anybody else, any other artist that has been able to capture an audience and take them for a lifelong ride, and when I say lifelong, I don't mean 5 years or 10 years. Take them for that lifelong ride. The common denominator in it all is the lyrics. Probably everybody in this room, the reason you're here is because of those lyrics. Okay, if that's true, then how do I how do I relate to you if I'm not authentic? And how am I going to be authentic if I don't let you inside my head, literally let you crack my skull open, let you walk around barefoot, discover the good, the bad, the not so good. If I don't do that with the lyrics, you're never going to feel like you know me. And if a fan or a listener does not feel like they know you, they're never going to develop that intimate relationship. And if they are not intimate with you, you will never take them on that lifelong ride. Because records are chapters in a book, and it's not finished until the artist is done with it, and then the book's complete. So when you look at it, all those records, they're like a diary, and they're little pieces, little snapshots, of where you were at that time. I've said that the first record was an angry record done by an angry band, and it was true, it was. But you go up 5 years down the road, we make Headless. Kind of hard to be angry when everybody in the band is driving Ferraris. It kind of loses something in the translation. So those records become snapshots of who you are at that time. But unless you're being authentic with your audience, allowing them, like I said, to see the good and the bad and the not so good, they're never going to feel like they know you. So if you're going to do it, and you're going to do it authentically, it's going to be like Peter Gabriel said, digging in the dirt to find the places where we get hurt. And you're going to have to be willing to share that. A lot of writers don't want to do that because they don't want people to know about the private lives. Pop music is like that. But pop music is not the kind of art we're talking about. Those are people who just make records. And that's okay. There's a place for that too. But it's not what we're talking about right now. So if you're going to do that, you got to be willing to lay it out on the table and say, here it is, folks. I laugh when I hear people talking about nowadays or this day and age where people get canceled and things like that. Whether it's me or somebody like me, you cannot cancel us. We've already shown you everything there is to know about us. There ain't nothing else on the left out on the table that you ain't seen. So if you don't like it, too bad. Go and harass somebody else because I don't give a shit.
That's very true. Thank you very much.
That'll help.
Thanks very much for your time.
Yes, ma'am.